Hey guys, so this is a little unique, but this is what we have to do when we have 3 huddles, is sometimes we have to be inventive and we have to use technology. So I am coming live from my home, so you may see some cars and people and whatever, but I wanted to share with you about this year's theme and kind of explain why we're all walking around with shirts that say His. So you might have seen them, and hopefully you're going to order you one, and they cost $10, and we really want everyone to get one that wants one. So come see us if that's an issue, and we'll make sure you get a t-shirt. So we actually chose Romans 8:28 as our theme verse this year, and it says, "And we know that in all things God works for good of those who love Him and who have been called according to His purpose." And so the key word there is His purpose. And so God knew before we chose this verse why. And I love that about God. God has a plan, He has a purpose, and He orchestrates every detail of your life and my life. And so we chose this. We set up our theme probably in May. And then God has just simply weaved in the details throughout the summer. And so I went to Uganda this summer on a mission trip. And I got to meet the little girl that my family and I sponsor. And so it was one of the most powerful things I've ever experienced in my life. I will share that because it's just amazing how we can go and see someone we've never met in our entire life, and we have an instant bond. And so we've been sponsoring her for a little over 2 years, and what sponsoring means is that we just pay $30 a month, and that covers her food, her clothing, her education. Kind of mind-boggling to think that we can do $30 would do all that, but over there $30 is a lot of money. And so we've been doing that for 2 years. I've seen pictures of her. I've communicated back and forth with her. We write letters, and so we got to meet her this summer, which was amazing. And I sat down with her, and she told me that she thought Muhammad had sent her, or sent me to her. And it absolutely tore me up. It wrecked me. Because here I have been thinking for 2 years that she knew Jesus. I had assumed that she knew Jesus. 2 years. And I'm ashamed and I'm convicted to say that never once in those 2 years did I think to pray for her salvation, because I just assumed she already had Jesus. Why would I pray for that? I prayed for her protection. I prayed for provision. But never once did I pray that she would have the gospel. And so it just hit me with everything going on with FCA and that, is that I just assumed that she was His. And that is probably one of the worst mistakes I've ever made in my life. And I make that mistake daily. I walk around and I assume people know Him. I assume that they're His, when in actuality, I'm not sure if they are or not. Number one, because I don't take the time to ask. And number two, I'm just running under the assumption that everybody is blessed as I am to have the gospel and know Jesus Christ as their Savior. And so I have felt that is something I don't want to assume anymore. I don't want to make that mistake again. I don't want to make that mistake with y'all. I don't want for a second for you to come to FCA every single week and then end up in hell. And that's what it boils down to, guys. If you're not His, then that's exactly where you're going. And nobody likes to talk about that. That's not going to make me any brownie points, and this is not a feel-good thought, because nobody wants to think about that. But in actuality, that's what we're doing. Every time we assume someone knows Christ, we're assuming them straight to hell. And so my goal for you this year is that, number one, you'll understand what it means to be His. Guys, it's not just going to church. It's not coming to FCA. It's not wearing a t-shirt. It is having a relationship with Jesus Christ. And if you don't have that, that's the goal. That is our desire in our heart, and that is my prayer every night, is that something we do in FCA will make you be His. And if we miss the mark, if we teach you to be a good Christian, if we teach you to do good works and pray and go to church, but you're not truly His, then we've wasted our time. So my goal in saying this is that I want you to understand that you have to be His in order to have a relationship and to have that salvation. And so in order to be called according to His purpose, this shirt and this verse means nothing to you if you're not His. So I want to leave with you a short video from somebody that is a lot more famous